Hi everyone, how are you this Tuesday? This is Bess McCarty, founder and coach with the MLM Millionaire Club School for Network Marketers. Every Tuesday I like to come to you with some ideas to help you to grow your business, to support you the best I can. And you are welcome to leave any comments, questions, feedback about this topic or about any other in network marketing, so you can be a part of this Facebook Live. We can make this a little mastermind and a little forum. Today, my topic is persistence. Why keep trying? Why keep going? Not always easy sometimes, is it? The network marketers that I have interviewed, and there have been hundreds and hundreds of them, comes down to two main whys, or two main reasons. And the first is they want to help their family. They want to provide for their family a better life, for themselves and their family. And the second reason is then to help the world in some way, to contribute to something bigger once their basic needs in their family are taken care of. So these are dreams that they have, every single one of them. It's really from their heart. It is their why. And I believe that dreams are from the divine. They're for something bigger than we are. So don't give up on these dreams. Be persistent. Honor them, respect them, and where they came from. And even more so, to do these things, to go for your dreams, not just to help the people, but also for the person that you will become in the process. We've heard that before, haven't we? So you might have heard the only failure is giving up. And that can apply to success in our business, but also our relationships and anything that's meaningful to us. You know, anything that we do that's meaningful to us. And my friend Brian Carruthers has a quote I just found this morning that I'd like to share with you. And he says, we know that, we've heard this quote, failure is not an option. And he said, how about change that to quitting is not an option, and I will fail until I succeed. Therefore, we may not be so afraid of failing if we turn that around and learn from it, right? Robert Kiyosaki said, well, I learn the most when I make mistakes, so let me make lots of mistakes. We can embrace that, right? Because if the most important thing is the spiritual lessons that we get, the personal growth lessons, and who we become as a result, then there can be no failure. Hi Donna, welcome. Glad you're here. I have a little story about this. I took my two grandnephews, age 5 and 7, out to dig diamonds one day. Because they were always talking about these video games. They had a video game called Minecraft, and they were always talking about diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. And I said, you guys like diamonds? Oh yeah. Would you like to dig for diamonds someday? And they go, oh yeah. So what I did is I went to a craft store and I bought these big old glass diamonds. I bought 4 of them. And they're about an inch or more in diameter. And I went to a park near their house and I buried them. And then I got the boys, and they came along with their garden trowels to go dig up the diamonds. So they're all excited, you know, and they just burst out of the car, and they run to the playground part of the park where there's just sand and it's easy to dig. And so they dug there a while. I didn't say a word because they didn't ask me, you know, where they didn't ask for clues or anything. They just ran in there excited, we're going to find those diamonds, and they start digging and digging. And so after a while, they've dug up the sand pretty well, because that was an easy place to dig, right? And they've dug some pretty deep holes there. And after a while, they decided it might be a good idea to ask for direction. So they became coachable at that point. So finally they said, there aren't any diamonds here, you know, where are they? And so that's the number one lesson they learned, was be coachable. And I said to them, well, look around. Where else do you think diamonds could be? Maybe even under trees. And I said, here's another tip. Look for dirt that's been freshly dug up, not, you know, grass that looks like it hasn't been touched or anything. So he said, okay. So they go and look under the trees, and they dig for a while there. They looked, of course, for the closest trees to them, to where they were at the playground. And so they're digging there a while. And hi, David, welcome. and Mark. Hey, Mark. Hey, that's very cool. So they're digging and digging, and after they probably get tired of that, and they go, "There's no diamonds here. Where are they? Give us a clue." And I go, "Well, did you look under the trees?" "Yeah, we looked under the trees." I said, "Did you look under those trees?" And I pointed to some trees off in the distance. And they go, "Oh," and so they take off and run over to those trees. So that was the second lesson they got, was look farther. Not just in your immediate surroundings. Look farther, have a farther vision. So they run over to those trees, and one of them finds some dirt that had been freshly dug, which was me, and they start digging, and they find a diamond. And the first one holds it up, and he goes, "I found a diamond." And then the other one starts looking in other places so he could find a diamond too. But the one who found it did not look in other places. He dug deeper under that one. And lo and behold, they were all under that one. So that was the third lesson that they got, is dig deeper. You think you've done enough work for the day? Well, maybe you just need to dig deeper. Maybe life wants you to work a little harder. Dig a little deeper than you have so far. Look a little farther and be coachable. So those are the 3 lessons that my grandnephews learned from our outing. Hi, Charlie. Welcome. So sometimes, and the boys weren't they felt like giving up, right? They felt like, this is too hard. It's taking more than 3 minutes, instant gratification. We all want instant gratification, especially the child in us. And so initially they were like, this is too hard. You should be giving us easier. It should make it easier on us. You should tell us where they are and where to dig. But I didn't. I held up. And I just gave them clues as they were open to it, rather than doing their own thing. So they learned not to give up when it is hard and to keep going. That's what they learned. And afterward they got home, I thought, well, did I push them too far for 5 and 7-year-olds? Was it too long for them? And afterward they got home and they said, this was really fun. So it wasn't too much for them. And hi, Charlie. Hi, David. Glad you guys are here. We're talking today about persistence. Why keep trying? So every problem, why keep trying? Because every problem has a solution if we search enough. We might even need to be coachable, to ask life, what help can you give me here? Who should I be talking to? Who should I ask for help? So asking for help, asking, can you give us clues? And being awake and aware and listening, being willing to hear the solutions. Now sometimes we may need to even adjust our strategy, might we? Instead of digging under, the playground in the sand where it was soft, look to where, look maybe another place, get a clue, excuse me, and look there. So sometimes we might need to keep trying or adjust not our dream, but adjust the strategy. Again, I believe the dreams are from the divine, but how we go about them or how they show up in our life, we might have to adjust that or accept that that dream might be met through a different way. So that we might have to adjust. And that takes a bit of surrender, being coachable, commitment, staying with it, being open, being flexible, think outside the box. I'll tell you, every top earner and every successful person in life has gone through the discouragements, the naysayers, the failures, the disappointments, the sacrifices to be able to have what their dream was. What are you willing to pay for your dream? It may require more than you thought. That's what a lot of people say about marriage too. Wow, I didn't know it was going to be hard. I didn't know it was going to be work. And sometimes it is. I'm probably always, there's learning experience, because life doesn't miss a chance to help us to grow and learn, does it? So a lot of times there are learning experiences, and we think, just get married and live happily ever after. It's the same in network marketing. There's growth to be had. Okay, thank you for waiting. That happens on Facebook Live when somebody calls in during the Facebook Live, then I understand that you can't hear. So I just waited through it, and we're persistent. And we'll try again here. So when you heard that story about my grandnephews and wanting to do their thing and not be coachable, how many of you were thinking of people in your downline? or children that you have. You know, there's a little child in all of us. But working with your downline can sometimes feel like you're raising children to be mature, to be patient, to be open-minded, to be coachable, to look farther, to dig deeper. So it is so with ourselves, right? Because I see myself in all of my clients that I coach as well. So, hi, Chris, David, Charlie. Charlie says, sage advice, thank you. I invite everyone on this Facebook Live to comment, leave a message, leave feedback or question, or any story that you have had that you could share with us about when you have persisted, when you have not given up, when you have kept trying, even when it was hard. I invite you to type that in and maybe I can share it with the group. Hello, Chris. So I'll be glad to share your wisdom with the group from your comments. They'll also be glad to answer questions about not giving up, keep trying, or about any question about network marketing. That's what these Tuesdays are for. Hello, Marco. Welcome. So, yeah, you guys have seen the cartoon, haven't you, about the two guys digging for diamonds, and one quits just before they reach him. So it does happen sometimes that all life would have required is just a little bit more. But that's why it's set up that way, so that we become greater people and that we keep trying, right? What growth could there be if life just handed us our dreams and our goals right up front? Says, oh, you want this? Oh, here it is. No, we have to work for it. My father was a farmer. I grew up on a farm in Kansas, not far from here, right where I'm living right now. And him thinking about a crop did not manifest it. He was a wheat and corn farmer, and we had horses and cows and everything too, chickens and all that. So his thinking about the crop did not manifest the crop. He had to plow, plant, water, wait, and sometimes weather hailstorms that destroyed the whole crop, and a lot of other disappointments. Usually there's pestilence or drought or hail or something that the farmers had to weather through, but they kept trying. So Chris says, bodybuilding. Chris is an incredible bodybuilder. You guys, Chris Brialt. He says bodybuilding is about, when you lack motivation, you still have to get the job done. You do it even though it doesn't feel good because of your long-term vision. So that would be, and he applies the same thing to everything in his life, right? So mature people can delay gratification and keep their eye on the ultimate goal, even though it might be hard in the immediate. So sorry, Chris, part of your comment disappeared as I was talking, but even when it isn't easy. So you keep your long-term vision. You've demonstrated that in your body and in your business. So I have to hand it to you. And you weather through the setbacks that come through. And so you're trained in doing that. I actually am a body-mind therapist, and I teach that what we achieve in our bodies, we achieve in our life. So you being a bodybuilder, that is a perfect example of the discipline and the vision manifested. If you go to Chris Brihalt's site, which you'll see in the comments when this Facebook Live is done, you should check out his work that he's done with his body. It's just, I really admire that. Thank you for your tip. And Charlie Bailey says, I have stopped and started with the same MLM business because life throws a curveball. However, I come back to this industry every time, as I know it's the vehicle for my journey and dreams. I agree. I don't know a better vehicle. And I challenge people. I say, do you know a better way than network marketing to get beyond the paid per hour model? Do you know a better way where you can be your own boss, work from home, low startup, work at your own pace, free training, and people cannot, a greater return on investment. There is no greater return on investment in any business if you stay with it. So I agree. Good for you, Charlie. I've known you for a few years, and good for you for your persistence of continuing. I come back to this industry every time, as I know it's a vehicle for my journey and dreams. And of course it does so much more. It grows us as people, right? We face ourselves. That's one reason I love coaching network marketers. Because, it was about 12 years ago that I decided to make my niche network marketers. Why? Because I love them. Because they're my heroes. Because you guys face yourselves every day. And of course, because I was one for years, full time, helped me raise my son when I was a single mom. Then I was in a number of more companies that just didn't quite feel right. Decided, it's because I'm supposed to just be coaching. Just dedicate myself to coaching network marketers and bring the body-mind therapy work that I have spent 30 years developing, working with myself and other people, to the field of network marketing. So that's why I chose my niche as of network marketers, because I just adore you all and what you're doing, how you're helping people, how you face yourself every day. You are my heroes and my inspiration. I aim to help and support you. Chris says thank you. Charlie says thank you. I thank you all. Anyone else have a story about how you kept trying, why you kept trying, how you did, what kept you going when it felt hard, when it took persistence, when it took keeping your vision? Anyone else have a story or comment or question about this or anything in network marketing? Okay, well, while we're waiting for comments to come through, I would like to let you know that I have a free 30-minute workshop for you and your team called Always Get a Yes. And we just did one a couple days ago for Chris's team. Chris, do you have any comments how that went for you? Would you recommend it to other people? How to always get a yes when you invite people to your business, to look at your product, business, or even join you or become a customer. There's a way to do it, and a way to know, who to offer it to, and how and when to offer it, so that you will always get a yes. And I promise that with a course that I've developed and a book that I would love to offer for you and your team. The workshop is free, and where they get to do some live practicing with me. So the way to have one of these is just message me here on Facebook and we will schedule one for you. Chris says the workshop was great, very helpful, my team loved it. I'm very glad. And his team also followed up with getting the book and more practice sessions, which we're going to be doing. I really feel like two things are needed: the scripts, the information, and then also the practice. I haven't found this anywhere else in network marketing, so I'm aiming to provide that for people. And anyone else have a comment or question, feedback or story about persistence or anything else before we sign off today? And then you can get back to sharing network marketing with people, changing lives, bettering their lives, because people need to hear from you. They need to know about the options that are out there so they can make better choices to stay with what they're doing or maybe join in your business. Marco Trevino, welcome. And Marco says, so many of us make a permanent decision on a temporary situation. Exactly. Don't quit. Let's refocus the energy of what we call an obstacle and break it down and see the opportunity. Hashtag don't quit. That's exactly it. Wow. Isn't that powerful? Whether it's your business, your marriage, your spiritual path, or any goal that you have, anything that means something to you. Let's not make a permanent decision on a temporary situation, especially one that we can change. Wow. I've done that. I've looked at temporary situations or small things and I've blown it up and I think, wow, this is so big, it's too big to overcome. I can't do it, it can't be overcome. The company won't ever change their mind. They do. Companies do change their minds and policies sometimes, don't they? I lost my downline, I can never get them back, but you can get another one. And sometimes they actually watch you and they might come back when they see the integrity that you work with, and the persistence and the consistency and the values and the ethics that you work with. Some do come back. You think, oh man, this is going to be permanent. This is never going to turn around. Might as well just throw in the towel. Well, who knows? They might come back. They might change their policy. What if you were the one left standing, and the one that they come back to, the one that they say, I like that you are stable enough to stick it out, and that we can count on you to be there through the waves, through the the waves that want to upset the ship. David says, awesome. Donna has a story. I've had a few times over the last few months where trying to motivate my team was getting me down. Who hasn't? Never give up. Hit my second qualifying level to get to executive PIN this morning. You did? Congratulations, Donna. Wow. So you were feeling down. Never going to be able to motivate this team, right? They're never going to respond. But she didn't give up, and she hit her level this morning. So proud of you. Congratulations. It works, huh? You knew it was there, or you believed it was there, and lo and behold, it came true from sticking to it. So yes. Who would you like to be if you were following a leader? Would you like to follow one that gave up at the first sign of discouragement? Or would you like to follow one who was going to be with it, who was going to stick with it and be there, that you could count on, that you could be a rock in the midst of a storm or a swirling river that you knew that you could count on being there? You could always find this rock when life is swirling for you and you needed stability. And you could find that in that leader. Be that type of leader for yourself and for your team. And you know, how do we find that strength sometimes? I have to say, I'm gonna go into the spiritual here. For me, my spiritual strength, or my spiritual path or techniques, is my greatest strength. When life does not offer me the support that I would like, or a person doesn't, or my company when I was in network marketing, or my team, or anything like that does not offer me the support, that's when I need to go within and find it within. That is my strength and my rock, so that then I can be that rock for other people in their streams and in their business. As a coach, of course, I need to be that rock for people. So mine comes from my inner strength. And you could imagine yourself like a tree. And I actually teach an exercise called the horse stance. It's an exercise from Tai Chi and Qigong, where you stand still, bend your legs a little bit where you lower your center of gravity, breathe into your tummy, and imagine that you are a stable tree with roots going deep into the ground for anchoring, for stability, not only for food, but for stability when the storms of life want to flail you about. That you can have these roots very deep. I hope that you have a root source of some type, whether it's your spiritual path or whether it's Mother Nature itself, or whatever you look to that inspires and uplifts you when you are down. I hope you have something like that you can sink your roots into for nourishment and for stability and strength when the storms of life come. But develop those roots now. Do not wait for the storm. Sink those roots now. Grow your tree. A lot of times the roots of a tree are as many and deep as what you see above ground. So it could be almost like a mirror reflection, that the roots a lot of times have sunk as deep as the branches above, because it's needed. The tree grows, the tree needs to go deeper as a result. And so do you in your network marketing business, or any endeavor that you have. Sink your roots deep into something that you can hang on to. And Donna also says, lead by example. Be the rock that you want your people to be. And David says, after all the good progress that I have tried in the past, I finally found one with the Walmart model. Free membership. Let's see if I can say, no auto ships, never compelled to make a purchase. So it sounds like you found that work. David says, I have never stopped digging. Yeah, and that's what the roots of a tree do too. They sink deeper and deeper, don't they? For food and nourishment and water, but also to hold on to the earth and support the growth that is above it. So it could even be said that the bigger that your network marketing business grows, the bigger your team grows, the deeper you need to dig to become a better person as you go. It's going to require that of you. The deeper you may need to dig into whatever holds, your spirituality or whatever gives you that stability and strength to manage the growth that is above the ground that is in your team. So never stop digging. Never stop digging. Thank you very much. Are there any other comments, questions, stories? I'll wait just a minute. Sometimes people are typing and we close, and you can still read those in the comments on the Facebook Live post. Thank you all for being here and contributing your stories. I'm doing this because I learn as much from you. And I love this path. I love coaching. I love helping people and learning because I think maybe I learn the most. So thank you for contributing. This is like a living book, aren't we? We're a living book with our experiences every day and what we can share with each other and help shortcut the way for other people. And Donna says thank you. I thank you, Donna. Okay, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. I love you, and go forth and let's do the good work. Let's help people. It's better lives. See you. Oh, and Marco, a comment. I always train my team and help them realize that people support your struggle and not your success. It becomes easier and more understanding that it's not them, it's you. Personal development is the key to having a breakthrough. Yeah, that it's not them, it's you. So are you saying that the struggle or disappointment or whatever, that the answer to that can be found by going within and seeing what can I learn from this? If I'm disappointed in a teammate, if they don't do what I want them to, if they don't show up when they say that they will, how can I change myself? Can I give them better reminders, clear texts, clear emails? Can I stand in their shoes and see maybe when they need to be communicated with, when might be the best timing for them, when they are ready, how I can say it so that they can hear it, how I can speak to their why every time. And here's a tip. Use the word "so you can" whenever you communicate with your team about an action step, like come to the meeting, get on the call, check your volume this month before the end of the month. When you give them these tips, if you always say the word "so you can" and then follow with whatever you know that their dream is, which you should have memorized, then that's another way to change yourself rather than change them. Like, how, instead of "why aren't they doing this," how can I be a better leader? Is that what you meant, Marco? More understanding. It's not them, it's you. And see what am I to learn from this, right? How can I change me? How can I be a better leader? Thank you for that wonderful tip. Yep. That's how to keep trying, is to know that when I might not be able to change people around me. Marco says yes, that was right. Thank you. I might not be able to change the world, but I can change me, right? Somebody else's business, how they respond to my invitations to come to a meeting or so on, or grow their team. I might not be able to change them, but I can change me. And I can prospect more people and be a better leader, all that. So, gosh, it's going to be worth it, you guys. Not easy, but I promise it is worth it. That's what everyone tells us too, isn't it? So, thank you for being here. I will close out for now. Appreciate you all for contributing and for keeping going. Let's all lock arms and do this together. Let's all keep going. Hi, Mary. Welcome. Okay, we'll see you next Tuesday. I will post this in a few minutes on my timeline. Thank y'all. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.